Oh man. Oh man. All right. Welcome back to the Land Flipping Formula, brought to you by the Land Investing Bros, Paul and Willie. I'm Abdiel Herrera, land investor and coach, and I'm coming to you live from the Land Flipping Formula Facebook group. And you can come check us out at the Land Flipping Formula Facebook group. Join us. We have all things land flipping, land investing, and we'd like to share in our community any of the strategies that we all have experience with. And today I wanted to talk more about marketing and specifically neutral offers and blind offers, there, what they are, and basically the pros and cons about them. But before I jump into that, I want to give a shout out to Tom and Hannah Bradashevsky. I don't know if I pronounced your name right. I've been working with you guys for a while, but congrats on your first few properties, and Alicia Arnolfi as well for her first two properties. So congrats, guys. Like to see the progress and in the land journey that you're in. So for sure, giving you guys the love and respect that you need. If you're out there watching, ask questions. I love to answer questions. I really don't like to be out here just blabbering my mouth. If you have questions, I know I'm helping you directly. Um, Comment live if you're watching this live, like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and comment if you're watching this on a replay. Comment and ask any questions then, and I'll come back and answer the questions to the best of my abilities, for sure. But to get straight to the topic and be straightforward here, I want to help you understand the difference between these two approaches, because they're the main approaches in real estate. Most likely you'll see neutral offers and just about anywhere else in the real estate, like housing and rentals and so on. Neutral offers can be letters, postcards, SMS. If you don't know what those are, SMS is just short messaging service. Basically, they send out text messages and so on. And it's just to let the owner know that you are interested in buying their property, right? You're basically just hoping that they'll call back and ask how much, and then you can start doing your due diligence and working on negotiating with them from that point on. The great thing about neutral letters is that you will probably get more calls back. The downside with that is that most of the calls will probably be people asking for a retail price. You're going to be dealing with a lot of people who will actually want something close to the market value. It is much cheaper actually to send out postcards, to send out SMS, so you could focus on the volume, and that's a big pro on that side. Just sending out tons of SMS and postcards, because it's pretty cheap. You just have to deal with a lot of the people wanting to sell their property to you for retail value. But once you find those people who will sell their property for 20 to 30% of the market value, or whatever they're willing to negotiate, then you're in business, right? And then secondly, blind offers are pretty simple as well. It's most likely a letter, and that's what I use. You'll send a letter showing interest to buy the land, but with an actual dollar amount. So you're actually figuring out an offer to send out. You could try this with SMS. You could try this with postcards. I'm not sure how people will react to those, how professional they look or enticing at all. But you'll have to figure that out on your own. But for letters, in my case, they definitely work the best. There's definitely a right way to send out blind offers, for sure. First thing you have to do is learn how to analyze the market, a land market in your area. That means finding the right market value. That means knowing what offer to make for that specific area and what would work best, right? That means also, you won't be able to just work with anyone. You have a limited amount of people that will probably call you. You may deal with some unhappy people, some people who won't be happy about your offer. So, but the great thing about it is that you get to focus on those owners that will sell their property within that offer margin that you made. And that allows you to keep your good margin of profit, pretty much. And that's pretty much why I use, the blind offer approach, because in the very beginning, to me, marketing is everything. Choosing the right market is everything. So if I know the market value and I know where I should be buying it, then I'm going to send the offer out to that amount. Granted, this is a rule of thumb, and it's really not always the case. You may want to, for example, on higher value properties, you may want to negotiate for maybe 40 to 60%, maybe 80. If the dollar amount, the dollar value of the profit margin is worth it, let's say you're going to make 20% of that, that's your margin. If that in dollar amount means 20,000, 50,000, that's definitely worth it for that case, So you definitely have to learn how to pick that out. But the nice thing about sending out blind offers is that you will work with those people. You can ignore all the unhappy people and all those callers, and pretty much just focus on the owners that will sell their property. The best thing that happens too is that sometimes I get letters in the mail, signed agreements. I typically send a one-page purchase agreement with the offer on there, so they can already sign the purchase agreement and everything and send it my way. And at times because I put my phone number and everything on there, I'll get a text message with a picture that's happened to me before, with their signature on it, everything ready to go. And all I got to do is just reply to them, negotiate, do my due diligence, and close on the deal if it's worth it, right? That's pretty much the main reason why I do blind offers. They're so awesome. With neutral letters, you could still work with that. You could still, for example, send out tons of letters, get a bunch of callers back, and then you'll work with the people who ignore all the ones that are not within the margin that you want to buy property in, and then just focus on those people who are willing to sell at the value that you want. I think blind offers work really well with people with a budget. If you don't have someone to joint venture, if you don't have a lot of capital available, sending a blind offer allows you to send for a specific amount of money that you have. So if you have 10K and you want to split that up, you don't want to just buy a 10K property. You'd want to definitely split that up into multiple properties in an area. So let's say 5 properties all at 2K, right? You can do that. I know in Arizona, I've done that. So there's properties like that. We can buy at 2K, sell at 12, 15K or so. And that's possible. It's very possible in some areas in Arizona, and some in New Mexico, Texas, and Southern California. So just giving you some areas where you can look and do some more analysis. But that's pretty much what I'm focusing in, is those people that I actually have money to spend on. I can joint venture with anyone and get as much capital as I want, but at least this I know what I'm working with, and the people that I work with, the owners, if they're ready to go, that allows me to be faster at closing the deals. And that's the whole point on this, is to be able to just get the acquisition done, right? Send out your marketing, get the leads, and get the acquisition done and sell the property. You want this to be scalable, right? So that's what that's what blind offers allows. And honestly, again, in my opinion, in my experience doing land investing, I prefer the blind offers. You guys check out and see which one you prefer. But that pretty much wraps it up for me here. I don't see any questions on here. If you have any, let me know right now before I close here. If you're interested in learning more about land flipping, our strategy here at the Land Investing Pros, or joining the land flipping formula, or deal funding, or doing one-on-one with me on the coaching, and type formula below on the comments, or let me know at the email below as well. For those watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. Guys, I'm so happy to be back and doing some content for you guys. I do like answering questions, so let me know if you have any questions, if you're watching this in the future, whatever it might be. But thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate the time that you've given me, and you guys have a great weekend. All right, take care.